G'day guys, how's it going? Oh, the rubber kitty here. All like sort of rubbered up and cold. Yes, project making a rubber coat that is lined so it's nice and warm and it's not going to be like ultra cold. I have thoughts about how thick I want it to be, what I'm going to line it with to make it all nice and cozy and warm. So I don't want to catch a cold. I think it's going to be a pretty cold winter. Anyways, so being the change that you want to see, it's not an easy thing to do. It means having principles and applying that. Now, a lot of people would think, okay, so I'm going to go out there and campaign, I'm going to vote Greens, I'm going to do this and that. I said, well, for one thing, the Greens have fallen far from the tree, pun intended, from what they originally were. They're going on this whole global thing, and I think, okay, that's cool. There's a lot of things happening, global climate change. I'm not disputing climate change, I'm not a denier. Climate does change, it's natural, it's called a cycle, you know. Anyone who studied basic geography will know that there are different ecosystems, and they will project and have different sort of environments. Like you have little micro ecosystems, like in your garden, where you have warmer spots, you have cooler spots, you have spots where you could plant probably like more, say like things in temperate zones rather than tropical zones, and that's like little microclimate. If you really watch and study closely, you'll understand what I'm talking about with this next thing, which is basically starting at the grassroots. It's not always about going global with it. Why is that? Is because a lot of people, when they go global, they forget about the local. What you want there is, it's pointless making global sweeping changes and policies and say punishing big industry and all that, if your locals don't really give a shit. If your locals are like, you know what, to survive we're going to have to do this, which is completely at odds with what with what the main purpose you're trying to do is. And I look at it, I mean, ages ago there used to be, everyone had like chooks in the backyard, they had little beans and peas growing in the backyard and stuff like that, and that you only went to the supermarket for some essential things, not just everyday things. And I think we kind of lost a bit of that, and this is why I kind of emphasize being the change that you want to see, is that the difficult thing is to change yourself, and to change your lifestyle to suit and to project out and to encourage a lot of change in the world. Now, starting off, like, I'm going to start having my own garden in the backyard. Some friends of mine, they have chooks. Other people I know, they are beekeepers. So also brew beer. Well, actually I brew kombucha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on like brewing my kombucha, start swapping things on a local level with my friends. Not only does it save money, but it also means that if they've got excess, it's not going to go to waste. We're going to start a little, not really a barter system. It's like, hey dude, I've got excess of kombucha, do you want some? They've got excess eggs or excess honey, that's cool, we'll swap. Grow stuff in my garden. I don't have a huge garden, but I've got enough to like grow a few veggies and all that, so that I'll go, okay, I'm obviously not going to eat like a couple of kilos of veggies every week, or beans, and I might go, okay, well I only have like a handful of beans every day, but I've got like a couple of handfuls. I'll say like, hey guys, I'll bring some in for you, we'll swap. It helps save people money. It's homegrown, it's not full of pesticides, and the more people that do that, like have little micro gardens in their backyards, the more I believe that we can actually have more essentials, and we're not spending so much money on things that like transportation for the food and all that sort of stuff. I mean, seriously, as good as, I mean, you can have ornamental gardens with still practicality and growing veggies and all that sort of stuff, and we've lost that. It's also good for you mentally to have a garden, Even if it is talking with some friends, they actually live in like a townhouse or a unit or a small place, and I said, well, okay, you can have like a fish tank and grow some like herbs or some, beans and tomatoes and all that, and have like a little aquaponic system set up on your balcony. So just have fish, you feed the fish poop and water goes to feed all the plants, which is sweet. And every so often you have like a tomato or something. It might not be sort of what people say worth it, but you keep going with that. You can automate it and it's great. It can be low maintenance, it doesn't have to be a chore, but it's also very satisfying to have greenery in your house. Very relaxing, very calming. You find your stress levels go down a little bit, and I've discovered that, so I'm going to put more plants in my place. I'm not sure about having a fish tank and aquaponics inside my house at the moment, but I could do that outside my house. I've got a bit of a backyard, so that's pretty cool. So, being the change, have you lost focus with your principles? What are your principles? Are you living towards that change on a local level? Have you touched people locally with that? I know, even though I do these go lives and I like to reach out and touch people on an international level, not actually physically touch them, but maybe later, that I take time out and have people around, or I'll go visit people and chat to them face to face, or give them a call if we're like long distance, like it takes me a couple of hours to see them, because I believe that's the thing, not losing touch with the local community, with your friends, your family, or even if you just still keep in touch with them, having more deep and meaningful relationship rather than something as just a, it's about time I do that and I just see them on a social level. Stepping outside of yourself sometimes and figuring out what's going on with them, coming from a place of, and I guess, kindness and compassion, can be quite difficult. Not like a shallow compassion of, I see you, I hear you, I believe you thing. That's just a trope that you can throw out there with anything. But actually sitting there, listening to people, not saying a word, because sometimes there are no words to say, and just, giving people a hug, or taking their mind off things and having a joke with them. I watched this actually pretty awesome documentary about this guy called Isaac Butterfield, Behind the Beard. A bit about his life, how he grew up, how he had epilepsy, he got on the keto diet to help himself, and just him working his way up, and the change in everything that's been going on lately, particularly in Australia. So, being the change that you can be, what are your guiding principles? Might help you to write this down. What are you doing to follow that? Have you lost touch with your local community, with your grassroots principles? Have you? And I'm not saying that you're just going to keep enforcing them. I'm saying you're going to go to your friends and say, hey guys, I've been doing this lately, what do you think? Is it cool or not cool? Like, not as in cool or not cool, but as in, do you think I've lost sight of what I'm really doing here? Do you have doubts about it? How do you deal with those doubts? Have you thought of all the angles? Has new information and situations come in that could change your mind or change the way that you do things? So anyway, being the change that you want to be, guys. Ghandi, very good person. He was also a very bad person in some businesses. There's more than one side to every coin, and just because he was good and did very good things does not negate the fact that he also did some really bad things as well. And that's the thing, I guess, weighing up your cost and benefit analysis there, getting a bit of economics. So, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good weekend. Stay shiny.